air. Glad you could join me. Quick question. Do you use Facebook in an attempt to build your business, to identify customers, to identify prospects, to recruit? If you're like most distributors, you're playing with it because you really don't know how to best to use it. And it's quite possibly the reason is Facebook is not the place you should be. Today's special guest, award-winning social media expert. And when I say award-winning, I mean American Express award-winning social media expert, Kathryn Weathersby, is here to talk about why direct sellers should be using LinkedIn instead of Facebook to build your business. Also, a special comment. As I look at the increasing and hear the increasing dialogue against women on women's health, on equal pay, and now the whole rape thing, I have to ask the question, why the major deafening silence with our associations, the MLMIA, Multi-Level Marketing International Association, the DSA, Direct Selling Association, and the biggest one to me on this topic, the DSWA, the Direct Selling Women's Alliance. I don't understand. And I'm going to share some personal stories that really speak to this point. It is amazing to me, with 85% of all distributors around the world being women, upwards of 85 million women, how can the associations remain silent when some of our company owners are supporting the same platform that attacks these issues for women? Today, here on OnAIR. Welcome to On Air. As I said, we have an absolutely great guest for you today, Kathryn Weathersby, one of the top social media experts in all of the United States, and probably globally if you were to ask her, some of her family and friends, I'm sure. However, with that said, she is an award-winning social media expert, and what makes this really, really great is, as you know, last week we had Jennifer Fong, and this week we have an absolutely fantastic social media expert and founder of Social Media Out of the Box, Kathryn Weathersby. She's an award-winning social media strategist. She's done this for a long time. As much as she loves social media, there's two things that you need to know. She really loves what LinkedIn has to offer the business person. So we're going to do a lot of talking about LinkedIn. And in the second segment, we're going to talk about Empower Network. It is a very fast-growing direct selling company, and I don't recommend direct selling companies to anyone. I'll let you guys do that on your own. However, what Empower Network has put together in terms of this total social media package that you can use to build your business is an absolutely outstanding offer. And you don't need to be a distributor, you can just be a customer. And Kathryn's also going to talk about that in the second segment. Kathryn, welcome to On Air.
Thank you, Keeper. Thank you for inviting me.
Hey, it is an absolute honor to have you on here. You and I have come to know each other through MLM Black Woman, and you are one of the contributing authors, and I'm really, really happy that you decided to take up that mantle. You're one of the contributing authors, and your area is social media, so this is absolutely great. We're going to do something with this show that we typically don't do. This show is usually broadcast on Direct Selling Live on our on-air channel, but as we're also doing here, for those of you who are on MLM Black Women, you're also watching the same broadcast at the same time that it's being pushed out on Direct Selling Live. So in a way, it's kind of a simulcast. Kathryn, social media. When you hear the term social media and social media communications, and there's a lot out there from Facebook to Twitter to LinkedIn, when you hear that term, what does that say to you? What does that mean?
Social media means to me that it is a medium that can be used for social purposes, business purposes, to communicate with people all over the globe, and to engage in conversations, be it personal, business, or otherwise. It's just a medium that has taken over, the continent, or the world, I should say, in terms of people using it to communicate for emergencies, Twitter with hashtags if there are hurricanes, floods, tornadoes. So it comes in handy for so many different things that people would need to communicate with. During Katrina, it was used for, emergency purposes, and ever since then, it's just been, something that people gravitate toward and something that they use in their daily walk.
Yeah, we've not only seen it with Hurricane Katrina, but we've also seen it in some of the third world countries where we, and I don't really want to go in this direction, but I just want to kind of touch on the point that you talked about, the communications capability and the communications power of social media. Even when you have rebels doing their thing with other governments, they will go towards, as you mentioned, or in a better term, gravitate towards social media to get the word out. In the context of our conversation, for direct sellers, people that are independent business owners, they may be with Avon, they may be with Tupperware, some may even be with Empower Network, I don't know. They may be with Amway, they could be with any number of companies. From a direct seller's standpoint, not so much the company, because that's what we got into last week with Jennifer Fong, but from the individual distributor standpoint, how do you see them being able to use social media in a more effective way? Because a lot of them, they don't really use it for business, and yet that's the reason why they're on there.
Well, in my opinion, the most effective way to use it is to use it as in terms of education, to add value, to give people information. And so if they have a distributorship or a company that they work for, it's a great way for them to share information about their company and what they have to offer. Training, you do webinars, you can do all kind of training with it. So they definitely need to use it in a way where they are recruiting, getting the information out, adding value. And what I mean by value is if I'm interested in direct sales and I don't know a lot about it, I've heard a lot of negative things about it, it's a way to, present me with the truth. So how would you go about doing that is that you would share, and I heard that last week, is that you would share information from the page that the company has on Facebook or on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is a great vehicle to use because it has 20 million company pages. It has reached a milestone. It has 16 million people on LinkedIn.
Well, let me ask you something, because most people go to one of two places. Most people in direct selling, they either go to Facebook, number one, which I think a lot of them play around with it. They really don't know how to use it for business, or they will in some way try to use Twitter. Now, you're a big, big advocate of LinkedIn, and as we both know, and I have to admit, I haven't spent a lot of time on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is really great for business owners or people who are professionals wanting to connect with other professionals. So you're a huge proponent of what LinkedIn has to offer. So from a direct seller standpoint, would you suggest that they look really closely at using LinkedIn?
Yes, I would, because there are a lot of groups on LinkedIn. And those groups are there by interest or by industry. So by joining a group, you can use your face and your voice to communicate with people that are in your industry or people that are looking to join the industry. So it's very, worth your time to invest in putting time into groups, I would say, even versus Facebook.
Really?
Because you said they're professionals on LinkedIn. They're very serious. The income is very high for the professionals that are there. And so when they come into that environment, they're looking for something they're serious about what they're doing. They're not there for social.
Yeah.
They're not there just to mess around. They're there with information. They're there to either post jobs. They're there to recruit. And so if you have a recruiting mechanism in place with your company or your distributorship, if you're recruiting, you can put that information right there on LinkedIn as a promotion. They have a promotion within the group. And so you're able to, say, advertise, where on Facebook you're really not supposed to do that.
Right.
They consider that spam. And they also do on LinkedIn, but if you use it as a promotion, if you list it under the promotion in groups, then it's not considered spam.
Let me ask you, do you do training for people on how to use LinkedIn?
Yes, I do.
I
am having a live training event coming up on September the 29th and October the 6th. And it's going to be like an hour and 30 minutes for each session.
Is this an online training?
Yes, this is an online training.
Do you need to be a part of LinkedIn, or is this something where you talk about the power of LinkedIn and now, how does it work? Because to hear that you're actually doing a training on how to use LinkedIn, that's very, very powerful. I'm so glad I asked you this, or you brought it up. I'm glad we're talking about it, I guess.
Yes. I have tickets available at Eventbrite. And so all the individual needs to do is go to Eventbrite and sign up. And the cost is $100, and that covers both sessions. And I tried to make it as affordable as possible because for the fact that, a lot of women are either coming into LinkedIn or their distributorship or their business. And so I want to make it affordable for everybody.
So it's not just $100 for one session. It's $100 for both the September and the early October session?
Yes.
So
it would probably be $300 if I wasn't, trying to get more people to get involved to learn about it. But since this is something that I feel a lot of women need to get involved with, I've discounted the price.
Let me ask you something, because we're getting ready to roll into the break here. On this LinkedIn thing, wow, you're actually doing an entire 2-course session on this for $100, which is incredibly cheap. Incredibly cheap. Even in direct selling, we pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for just basic training, and to find out that you are doing a course for LinkedIn, I know your course is probably generic in the sense that it's for everyone.
Yeah.
Could you do a LinkedIn specifically for direct sellers at some point in the future?
Yes. Yes. What I would like to do at some point is to work with you to present something for the community, the MLM Black woman community.
Well, I'm all with that. I am all with that. Just for those of you who don't know, there's going to be an opportunity, and Kathryn's going to talk about it in the next segment, on how you can win, a 15-minute social media consultation with her. She's going to talk about that, so you really don't want to go, because even more valuable information is coming up after the break. We'll be right back.
When my mother used to sell Princess House.
Joined them way that night.
Norma siempre vendía cosas de Avon.
Oh, it must have been around 1935.
But those knives were amazing.
The one lady's name was Mary Kay, and I said, cosmetics will never sell on Party Plan.
Was a single mom and created these hair care products for black women and became the first self-made millionaire in the United States. I just think that's extraordinary.
Welcome back to On Air. We have the absolutely great Kathryn Weathersby here, award-winning social media strategist. Kathryn, let me ask you something. I know you're an award-winning social media strategist, and we're going to talk more about the LinkedIn, because now I'm extremely interested and excited about LinkedIn. And people have sent me LinkedIn stuff before, and I'm like, I just don't have the time. As you know, my plate is full. However, you have won an award for your social media strategy. Can you talk about that? Tell us what happened, what that was all about.
Okay. A local restaurant they decided to get involved in a contest with Facebook American Express last year. It's called Big Break for Small Business. And what happened is that they put their name in, and through a voting system, they were nominated for $20,000 cash. So they came to me at some point during the process and said, "Can you help us get votes?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I had approached them earlier, and they, for whatever reason, did not, at the time they weren't ready. Mm-hmm. So what we did was, she called me between, it seems like it was 9 o'clock that night, and said, "Kathryn, I need Facebook, I need that welcome page that we discussed, and I need tweets. And I need you to get going on this ASAP tonight."
No pressure at all.
No pressure. Because we're going to win this contest, and we need you. So that night, I stayed up till about 4 a.m., and I did the welcome page, which was on Facebook. And what I did was, American Express came in and did a 10-hour shoot at their location. So what I did was, I took the video from that shoot, and I put a countdown clock, which means it counted down to the contest. It was very unique. And then I put a comment stream, so people could come in real time and make comments on Facebook about the contest and, different things. And so as the clock ticked down, we, encouraged people to vote, and we went on Twitter and we hashtagged vote jobs, because they wanted to, expand the business to add jobs.
Yeah.
Contests. These are all the things that I did, and then I made about 30 custom tweets and automatically tweeted them out during the day.
I'm Gordon Biffle. This is my wife, Darkia Biffle, and we're owners of Big Daddy's Barbecue right here in Gary, Indiana.
Big Daddy's Barbecue wasn't planned. We started the Facebook page very early on. I didn't know much. I just know we needed one. We were using it to communicate with the fans. We didn't realize how much business and advertising we can do. We created an ad targeted towards women. Seeing the ads translated into foot traffic makes me feel like my money is well spent. I'm looking at something that was just posted. Already, we got 13 likes in a minute.
Comments. This friend jumped in. Yeah, I've been there before.
About a week later, in the middle of the night, I got up and I went to American Express's page on Facebook, and there they were.
Nice, and that was all you. So this is great, because oftentimes we see people who will give plenty of advice, but there's a difference in theory as compared to application. You can really let, this conversation right now, she has really been there and she has really done that. She knows what she's talking about. Not only does she know what she's talking about on creating the contest for the restaurant, let's get back into the whole LinkedIn thing. I got to tell you, I'm excited about what you said. I'm excited about the $100 for your 2-day seminar, which is end of September, first week of October. From a direct seller standpoint, coming to this particular online seminar for LinkedIn, the people that come to you and watch this, what are the things they're going to take away with them?
They're going to learn how to optimize their personal profile on LinkedIn so that they will be found in search. So for instance, if they are with, name me a company.
Okay, ABC company. ABC.
Okay.
Okay.
If they're with ABC company, and there are 53,000 people with ABC company, they will be somewhere on the first or second page.
Wow.
Okay. Basically, if you look on my page, my personal profile page, I'm either number 1 or number 2. There's one where I'm on page 10. But I mean, probably 6 or 10. But for the most part, every title that I list, whether it be internet strategist or SMM, which is social media marketing, or earned media, I'm in first position. So
you're really pushing and advocating for direct sellers to get in to LinkedIn more so than Facebook, because it's really for professionals, it's really for entrepreneurs, it's really for people, as you said earlier, who are prospecting, who are recruiting, who are really willing to put themselves out there in a very, very professional way. And the people who answer or come to you are very, very serious. These are people who have money, the people who are looking to make some things happen.
Yes.
Wow.
And also in part 2, it's called leveraging LinkedIn. So I'm going to show you how to generate leads, how to get job offers, how to present job offers, how to use it as a tool to recruit. So, I mean, there's so many aspects to LinkedIn that people are not aware of, how to create a group, how to share your information on LinkedIn.
Well, it's interesting. Indirect selling, which is close to 100 million distributors worldwide, it's really, really big. We are almost 85% women. 85% women around the world are in direct selling, so LinkedIn is going to be an absolutely valuable tool for them. If I could just segue from the LinkedIn to another extremely valuable tool. I am not one to recommend a direct selling company for anyone. That's just not something that I do. However, in this instance, there is a direct selling company out there that is providing extremely valuable tools that have put together the ultimate social media package, and that would be Empower Network. I'm getting more and more people talking to me about it. It's something you know a bit about. Talk to me about Empower Network and why direct sellers should use the service even if they're not a distributor for the company, and how can they learn more about it.
Empower Network is a combination of tools that are utilized to, first of all, SEO, optimize, be found, and to benefit from recruiting. In direct sales, recruiting is a big piece of it. And there are several components to Empower Network. It starts with blogging. A lot of people don't like to write.
Mm-hmm.
But blogging is a huge part of the success of Empower Network. Empower Network is an authority site, which means that it's going to help the individual to rank higher as they blog.
How do you mean? What are, is it value of the blog, or is just the number of finds, the quantity over quality? What does that mean?
An authority site is the site that helps you to rank. So like Facebook's an authority site, LinkedIn, if you're on these sites, they will help you to SEO. They will help you to go to the top of Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So if you're in the Empower Network, blogging and they are the authority site is going to enhance what you're doing, and it's going to pull you up in the, in the search engines, I should say. Also, WordPress is very good as a tool to blog with, and also it helps you to SEO or to rank high in the search engine.
Okay.
So that's a part of it. And then you have capture pages, which are your landing pages.
Right.
And basically what happens is that the individual opts in and they get immediate training. So they're getting, right on the spot, they're getting video training. And it's telling them how to use the Empower Network and how to cultivate the blog and how to use the capture pages to get other people involved in your network. So it's teaching you all the components of social media.
Wow.
Because that all is, it's encompassing social media.
Wow.
Also, it has a 100% commission structure.
Well, I don't necessarily want to get it to the commission part, because then we start to talk about it from a direct selling standpoint. If they want to know more about the Empower Network and what is all involved, either from the tool standpoint or from the opportunity, what would they do? What do they do? Do they contact you? Do they contact the company? What do they do?
They contact me.
Okay.
And they can reach me at the link that you will have posted.
Here it is. It's up right now. Okay.
Okay. EmpowerNetwork.com, and then it goes into Jaguar ECW, and the exact link is I'm looking at.
Okay. We talked about earlier you having a contest or an ability for someone to win a 15-minute consultation with you. What is the consultation about, and how do they participate in the opportunity of getting that 15-minute call with you?
Okay, well, they need to go to my website, www.socialmediaoutofthebox.com/giveaway. What it is that they get 15 minutes with me. I will consult with them about internet strategy.
Okay.
So just like we just talked about blogging and all the tools that are required, I would look at what they're currently doing, and then I would make recommendations to them based on that.
So is this free consultation available to anyone who goes to sign up, or is there a cap on the number of people that you're going to do this with?
As many people can sign up as possible, and we will select 3 winners.
Okay, all right. So what's the window? Is it a 30-day window? Then you're going to choose 3? Do they have to do it by the end of this month, the end of September? What?
There are 6 days left.
6 days left. Okay,
yeah.
Well, it's going to be by the, let's see, we're looking at, what, another 4 days, maybe 3 days by the time this show is over. Okay. Let me ask you one other thing, or a couple other things. From your website, if someone goes to your website, what are they going to see?
Well, first of all, they're going to see that they can sign up for the LinkedIn registration.
Great.
And then when they go into the site, they're going to see that I have a free download that I'm offering. I have an 80 fast checklist for marketing your business.
And
80 points.
80 points. As in 80.
80. 80. Yeah.
Wow, extensive.
It's a marketing checklist that helps an entrepreneur or any type of business to look at what they're currently doing to market their business. And it asks a bunch of questions about competitors. It asks about your website. Just goes into all areas of marketing. And it helps you to, sit down and look at, it's a map.
Mm-hmm.
When you get done with it, if you haven't done those things, those are things that you need to do.
Right.
So it will help to enhance your business. So they need to look at what they're currently doing. And anyone who, enters the giveaway, that's a tool that I would prefer that they use if they win.
Okay. All right.
Even if they don't win. I mean, it's going to help them to enhance their business.
Okay. So if someone wants to contact you, and learn more about everything that you do, get more information on your award-winning strategies for the restaurant, what you did, because you may have some companies that say, you know what, we want to use you. Or if a distributor wants to contact you, what are the contact ways that they go about it?
They can contact me at info.socialmediaoutofthebox.com, or they can contact me by phone, 219-649-1050, or they can leave me a message on the website.
Outstanding. And for those women here from MLM Black Women, let me say, and I'm for them as well as for me, we are so incredibly happy that you have decided to be the MLM Black Woman social media guru. And just so you know, I already see in the near future that we're going to start to push a lot of your stuff over onto Direct Selling Live as well. We're going to talk about and start to promote your LinkedIn webinar. I guess for just $100, you're going to be able to sit in and learn everything you need to know about LinkedIn from the great Kathryn Weathersby. It's September 26th and October 4th. Are those the dates?
September 29th.
Okay.
And October 6th. And those are 2 Saturdays. I picked Saturdays so that people, may be off work. And
right. Are they Saturday mornings or in the evenings? What, afternoon?
In the afternoon, Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock.
Well, let me. And so to this, to the webinar. So you sign up for the webinar. You're able to attend the first one. Will you be able to get a replay of the second one?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that's all part of the package. About $100 is very, very cheap. Kathryn, before we go, is there anything else you want to leave us with?
I want to say thank you for the opportunity to become the social media go-to person for MLM Black Woman.
You could say expert. You could say expert.
Guru.
Guru, love it. Absolutely.
Master teacher.
There you go. There you go.
And I want to congratulate you on taking it on.
Oh.
And I think you're doing a fantastic job. I look forward to working with you in the long term. and in helping you build a community. And I think that it's a wonderful thing. You know, I really want to thank you for taking it on, and I already see life, you know, in it, and I know that it's going to prosper. And I just want to say bless you, and I wish that it becomes everything that you envision it to be.
Well, I thank you very much, and after we're done, we'll have to sign you up as my PR person.
I do that too.
Oh, okay. You know, it's the MLM Black Women community, along with Direct Selling Live, they're passions of mine, and anything to do with women and uplifting women, particularly women of color, I am there. And a lot of that's just due to some of the things that happened with me growing up. And so I'm just, you know, trying to make the community of MLM Black women and women in general are proud and happy that I'm able to participate in helping to create an additional louder voice for them. Kathryn, thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on. Let's talk again soon.
Thank you. I welcome that invitation.
You take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
There you have it. There's Kathryn Weathersby, and I hope you really take to heart what she had to say about LinkedIn. The more she talked about it, as you can see, I was thinking, oh, wow. LinkedIn is such a major place for direct sellers. It's all about the quality of the prospect as opposed to the quantity. As any trainer, as any company, as anyone, it's all about the quality. And if LinkedIn has such high quality prospects looking, that's really the place for direct sellers. Now, before we close, a little special comment. Today, we're looking at such vitriol as we're talking about women, women's equal pay, women's health, the Violence Against Women's Act, and now wannabe Missouri Senate nominee Todd Akins. Just, I don't know what you call it when you're talking about the legitimate rape, and then you go to Paul Ryan, and then you go to Mitt Romney and the GOP's platform on the abortion thing. I don't understand how this can even possibly be, why we're even having this conversation. I'm going to share a couple of things with you because I'm really stunned at our associations for their deafening silence on this issue, particularly the DSWA, Direct Selling Women's Alliance. We are a community of upwards of 100 million people. 85% of that 100 million is women. So anytime you start to attack women inside or outside of direct selling, you're talking about the major gender, certainly here in the United States. Women outnumber men here in the United States, and I'm just absolutely stunned that our associations make no comment on it whatsoever. I've been challenging the MLMIA, the DSA, and especially the Direct Selling Women's Alliance, DSWA, to come out and say something on behalf of women's issues. Go beyond direct selling. Get more into the public policy debate. My personal story goes something like this. I come from a family of 8 kids, 4 boys and 4 girls. I watched my father, before my mother grabbed all 8 of us kids, along with my aunt, and ran from Portland, Oregon, down to California in the dead of night. I watched my father many times beat my mother. It was horrible as a young boy watching this, and there was absolutely nothing I could do about it. It was at times so incredibly violent that everyone who saw it, of us kids, we just cried. We just could not understand how come nothing was being done about it. And then as we moved and came down to California, my mother remarried, and turns out the guy that she remarried was abusing 2 of my sisters. All of my sisters are younger than I am. The abuse was really, really devastating for my family. It fractured my family, fragmented us in so many ways. The relationships still aren't where they should be. But to know that my stepdad was abusing 2 of my younger sisters in such a horrific way, and actually had his sights set on the 2 youngest ones before we realized what was going on, it's so devastating to a family. Another story, and there are plenty of them, is I dated a woman for a long time. who was older than I was, much older than I was, and even during the time that we were dating, she would ask me to come over and stay the night, not for sex at all, but just because she was getting scared. She would start to have flashbacks of when the abuse was happening to her. So I know this happens to a lot of women because I've spoken to a lot of women. I've heard stories about a lot of women. And yet, an industry that is primarily dominated by women refuses, from the association standpoint, to say anything about the Violence Against Women's Act, equal pay for women, the contraceptive health care issue, and now the comments of legitimate rape by Todd Akin of Missouri, and then to find out that the Republican, the GOP platform is essentially the same stance. When are you going to say something? When are you going to come outside yourself as an association and stop just thinking about the money and actually start to think more about women's issues? This is the greatest opportunity for us as a community to get into the public policy debate. There's absolutely no excuse why we should not be here. No excuse why we should not be making a stand. There are so many women that need the voices of our associations to step up and say, we are behind you. It doesn't mean you have to take a political stance. All that you have to do is say, we support women. We support a woman's right to choose. And this is what's really curious to me. You've got the pro-life versus the people who want choice. Even for the people on pro-life, you are making your own personal decision as to what you want to do. But to say another group cannot make their decision, that does not fit. That does not work. And I think every woman, whether I agree with her religion, her politics, her civic views, her social views, her environmental views, every woman should have a right to self-dictate what it is she wants to do and how she wants to go about her life. Period. Our associations, I am still stunned. I am absolutely stunned, and I cannot believe it, especially the DSWA. And I love the DSWA, but boy, oh boy, I wish you guys would step up and say something. You are so needed. You could be so much more. Women are waiting for you to say something. Many have come to me and said, I wonder why they aren't saying anything. And I just have to think it's because you're more concerned about the money and the training and you don't want to get involved. Okay, great. But there's oftentimes a time when the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. There's oftentimes a time when you must have courage to be more than what you are, to be willing to go against the grain, to be willing to go against the status quo. That is what greatness is all about. And yes, I speak more on this topic to the DSWA because they are the Association for Women, but understand, the DSA, you are by no means excused, and neither is the MLMIA. Get it together. Step up. 85% of our industry is constituted by women. Do something. Say something. The DSA, I'm not as much surprised because a number of the owners who are supporting the platform that is against equal pay, that is against Violence Against Women's Act, that is just all of this nonsense, these are the owners that the DSA represents, because the DSA really doesn't represent the distributors. The DSWA, on the other hand, and the MLMIA, there's really no excuse. It is time.